Donald Trump at this point is desperate to win even a slightly higher share of women voters, but he's going about it in kind of a weird way. He was doing his Fox News town hall, and at one point, Harris Faulkner brought up Amber Thurman, the woman who's been talked about a lot over the last few weeks, tragically died in Georgia as a result of the death of Roe v. Wade. When that topic was brought up, here's how Donald Trump chose to speak about it.
Amber Thurman's family have come out on a press call, and they're doing what's called a pre-buttal 2-hour town hall right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah? And I want to
get better ratings, I promise.
Yeah, I know that I say this probably about 3 times a show, but at this point, we can't get past this time in American politics fast enough, because I am reaching the limit of how much I can be exposed to the just undiluted horror that is him and the things he chooses to do and say. So look, Amber Thurman died. Okay, as we've spoken about, we talked about the topic multiple times. She was a 28-year-old nursing assistant, mother of a 6-year-old, who died after doctors delayed necessary care due to Georgia's 6-week abortion ban. Medical providers stalled to provide care to treat the effects of a medication abortion, also known as medical abortion, according to an investigation. So it's just a tragedy. And I understand it's an election, and that topic being brought up doesn't help Donald Trump. And on a personal level, he doesn't like that the family of Amber Thurman might criticize him. Okay, that happens as a politician. What you need to do is not be a petulant, horrid little boy about it and imply that, oh, they're just being petty, those people who just lost their child, but more people are going to watch my content. Because at the end of the day, what truly matters is not the life of a woman, the mother of a 6-year-old. It's ratings, baby. This is all show business. Screw off with your concern over your lost family member. And look, I'm being sarcastic as one of my defense mechanisms, but honestly, add that to the list of things that singularly should have been enough to disqualify him, not only to be president again, but to serve in any public office, to appear on TV without being booed and jeered and have tomatoes thrown in his face. Dear God, how could he show his face in public when he says these terrible things? And we have more, including more criticism of him. But first, Nina, what do you make of that? I don't believe you and I have spoken about Amber Thurman, but it's one of the most horrid things that's happened so far this year.
Yeah, no, definitely Amber did not deserve what happened to her. And as you mentioned, her 6-year-old daughter, who is probably not totally cognizant of what happened to her mother, but knows clearly that her mother is missing. The fact that she has been deprived of growing up with her mother is beyond outrageous. It's totally unacceptable. And it did not have to happen. The way that the former president responded is true to form. So John, I don't expect anything different from him. Time and time again, he performs or responds true to form. He has truly not developed an emotional quotient. He just has none. No. And it's all about him at all times, no matter what the topic is. But this is outrageous. And Republicans across the board should be ashamed of what they have done to destroy Roe v. Wade in this country. But they've been working at that, John, for a very long time, and nobody should be surprised. And let me not let the Democrats off the hook, because we've had several presidencies, just sticking with President Obama, for example, but when he controlled all the chambers and including the presidency that first 2 years. And then we also have President Biden, who controlled both chambers of the Congress and the presidency for 2 years. Democrats could have codified Roe a while ago, but decided not to do it.
Yeah, look, I think that is totally fair to bring up. They definitely should have acted far more aggressively on that, and I'm sure we could list many other topics. I just Harris Faulkner is ostensibly one of their straight news people. I mean, I think that facade has sort of fallen away over the last year or two because she's appearing more and outnumbered and everything. But originally she's not Laura Ingraham. She's a news person. And she sat there and he made that comment and the audience laughed and then they just moved on with their life. She's supposed to be a journalist. She's sitting down with the former president, possibly the next president. He's a current presidential candidate.
You got no comment about him joking about the death of this woman? I'm just saying, as a journalist, let alone you're a woman. You're like nothing. You got nothing for the death of Amber Thurman. That just seems so deeply strange to me. Now, very briefly, there was at least one person on Fox News that was critical of him. Here is Jessica Tarlov.
I mean, he kicked it off actually by kind of laughing at the Amber Thurman story. There was Harris brought up that the family had put out a prebuttal, and he laughs and he says, "We're going to have higher ratings," which seems pretty cruel. You could use that moment to say, "I am so sorry that that young woman, a mother of a 6-year-old boy, lost her life."
Yeah, I think that's you could just say that. That's what, like, the sort of reverse situation that Harris might. She would acknowledge, and something like that happened in the Brett Baier interview. Or you could say, it's a tragedy that she died. What we're going to do going forward is we're going to balance our commitment to life, or whatever, that fake BS that they say, while also protecting people who need. Like, you could do literally anything other than joke about ratings, but he can't. That's all he has. That's all he has. That's all he is. It's horrible that as many people find it appealing as do, but I just find it so strange that you could be sitting on the stage with him and just, you have to either you are okay with that, and I'll extend the olive branch, I guess, that she's implying that she's okay with that, so maybe she is, or you have to pretend to be okay with that, because that if you question him on it, if you call him out, then the MAGA movement, like, that's it, you're done. Okay, if you actually stand up for sanity, for compassion. And so I found it to be disgusting. Mostly him, but she contributed to it. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, maybe, sometimes people could be deer in headlights sometimes, John. I mean, you and I do this on a regular basis. We do live TV on a regular basis. And I don't know Harris that well, but I want to try as much as I can, especially as you have laid out her bona fides, to maybe give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was just so stunned she didn't know what to say. Unfortunately, she didn't. And then as far as the audience reaction, people get into this group think kind of thing. And sometimes people are not quite listening all the way, but just the automatic response, especially when you're with your people, so to speak, is just to kind of go along to get along. That doesn't mean, maybe there were some people in the audience who were mortified by what happened, but we just wouldn't ever know that. So I'm just trying just a little bit to give a few of those people the benefit of doubt. But everything that you said, I totally 100% agree with. And I wished, hindsight being 2020, maybe she's feeling like she could have handled that better, or maybe not, I don't know.
You are, as always, very, very reasonable. And you might well be right. I mean, she does a lot of TV, but you're right. It is probably unfair of me to expect her in the moment to respond.
No, I don't know.
But
John,
today would be a great time to say
I don't
something.
think it's unfair as much as maybe. And I'm saying that sometimes even professionals can get caught up. That's what I mean. I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just saying maybe I don't think she could have got caught up in that moment. Or either one of us could be right. I mean, that really is the main premise. I'm just giving our audience something else to think about. Either way it goes, it is shameful. The family didn't deserve it. And Donald J. Trump, again, performed true to really who he is.
100%. Yeah, I don't think that was an excuse at all. I think you were providing a potential explanation. And I think, especially since that moment has become such a big thing, as a responsible professional in media and journalism, I think today would be a great time to put out a statement.
I agree.
I don't think that's asking too much. Again, I'm not on TV. I don't get paid millions of dollars. I'm not a real journalist or whatever, but I feel like I would say something if something like that slipped past me. But in any event, I agree with your evaluation of Trump.
When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?